All right, we are headed to some dealerships today. I'm going to show you guys what the foot traffic looks like at a bunch of different dealers. There are a couple things I want to cover. One is new car sales versus used car sales. I think you're going to see a huge difference. Last weekend, I went to EchoPark, which is just a used car dealer, and it was wild how many people were there compared to the new car dealers. When we were at Chevy and Nissan selling brand new cars, one of the salesmen at Chevy told me this is the slowest January he's seen since he's been working there. The Nissan dealer told me the same thing. Both of them keep reaching out, wanting us to buy a vehicle. So I've got the GoPro set up. I'm going to show you traffic and kind of the difference. We're going to start out, I think, at a Toyota dealer. I think they're going to be the biggest foot traffic for new, and everybody else is going to be down a little bit. But it's a Saturday. It's 68 degrees outside. It's gorgeous, like a gorgeous day to be looking at cars if people are doing that. But I think the economy is turning a little bit. I think traffic is down, and I wanted to take the Rebel out and just get some miles on it. I got to put some miles on this thing to get you guys oil tests. I want to swap over to 0W40 after I hit about 5,000 miles. I hope you guys enjoy this one. By the way, driving in this Ram Rebel, sitting at 24 PSI, never see that 24, 25 PSI, never see it go below that on the oil pressure, which I think might be, an indicator of why you aren't seeing a lot of Rebels fail. Ooh, there's a Toyota right there. So someone test driving a 4Runner right there. Good sign that they've got some traffic. Now, I also wanted to check stock at all the dealers because I think it's a good thing. TRD John talked about this in one of his videos. The stock at dealerships, everybody says, oh my gosh, dealers are overflowing with stock. I'm going to show you what I see today, but I actually think that's a good thing. Like, you got choices. That's what we used to have back in like 2017, 18. It was awesome. So Toyota, looks like there are a ton of cars. If I'm looking on my left here, man, I see at least 1, 2 being test driven, maybe 3 or 4. So Toyota on a Saturday, Toyota is one of the brands that just, they aren't really affected by economic conditions as much as other brands. They just aren't. They got a lot of stock here, so we'll see. Hopefully this camera picks it up. We've got a ton of Tacomas. Got a guy checking out a car right there. Right here, normally they would have like lined up with Tacomas, but here on the left, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. About like, gosh, they've probably got 20 Tacomas here on the lot to choose from. Tons of Tacomas. And people will say, because the Tacomas are on the lot, they're not selling. That's not true. Toyota's initiative last year was build more, sell more. So you'll see a bunch of Tundras up here as well. The Tundras are down in sales compared to the previous year, but the Tacomas are up. They're selling like almost 200,000 units a year. It's not hopping like last year. When I was at this dealership, at this Toyota dealership last year on a Saturday, you would see like routinely 4 or 5 people out in this area just doing test drives. I'm not seeing that right now. There's another set down there. So at least 3 or 4 people, and it's just before noon on a Saturday, that are looking at new vehicles. Now, obviously, this is just anecdotal. We're in Colorado. All right, so I just passed this Truck Ranch used truck dealership. The used truck dealership had at least 4 or 5 people outside. So that's an interesting tidbit too. We're going to see this difference between new and used. I know a lot of new car dealers still sell used cars, but predominantly when I'm at like a Lexus or a Toyota dealer, a lot of people are looking at their new stuff. Now we're at a Lexus dealer. I just wanted to poke in here and see. We got someone leaving in a Hyundai Ioniq. Looks like there's at least one person out here checking around, looking at new cars. We've got a Super Duty sitting up there, a Frontier. So a lot of these, this is customer parking. So these are all people that are inside checking out vehicles usually. So the customer parking, even at Lexus, a luxury brand, customer parking is full. There's someone up there checking out a brand new RX. So it looks like the Lexus dealer, all the customer parking is completely full, and looks like multiple people are on the lot. And then inside, I'm sure there's plenty of people checking things out. All right, we're heading up here to a Kia dealership. I know a lot of people aren't interested in Kias. I just want to get a kind of an idea of who's looking at cheaper, maybe the Korean brands like Kia, or are they looking at GMCs? Are they looking at Toyotas? Kind of interesting to see. Now remember, later in this video, I want to show you, we have a dealership called EchoPark. I don't know if you guys have them in other states, but they're a really aggressively priced, kind of no haggle dealership for used vehicles. That's all they sell is used vehicles, and they have a ton of them. And they're usually in pretty good condition and usually really good price. And EchoPark is almost always packed with people. It's wild. All right, this Kia dealership, there's someone out here, and actually that looks like a buyer. So there's 1, 2, 3. Wow. Yeah, someone test driving a Telluride right here. That guy looking. There's at least 8 to 9 customer cars sitting there. People are checking out brand new vehicles, and ahead of us, multiple people walking the lot looking at new vehicles. So yeah, hey, I don't think, keep this in mind, I don't think people are buying these vehicles. Look, these are people that are leasing and financing the majority of the time. They can't afford this stuff, but they're buying it. So, you know, when you talk about the problem in the car market and why these prices stay high and inflation stays high, it's generally because of credit. You have credit. It's the same thing in the housing market. If lending companies scrutinized more, it wouldn't matter. If they couldn't lend to people, those prices would come down on houses. Same thing with vehicles. The prices would come down if the lending wasn't so lax. But what is Kia? They have a ton of, compared to some other brands, they got a lot of reasonably priced vehicles. They're reasonable to a lot of people, and people like their 100,000 mile warranty. Whether or not the warranty means that it's going to be better or not, who knows? What I'm seeing today, at least at this Kia dealer, I kind of expected to see this at Kia, is just a lot of people looking on a Saturday. It's a gorgeous day. People are going to run their credit up. People are going to go broke. That's the nature of the beast. It's how it's always been. It's America. Go broke. All right. Creeping up on this large Ford dealer. This is Interstate Ford near I-25 and Highway 52 in Colorado. And we got a bunch of F-150s up here in the front. See how many customer cars we have. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 Texas car, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Looks like someone test driving a Bronco. Now there's a car. If you're buying a new Bronco, I get it. There's a new Raptor that someone's checking out. A new, oh, that's actually a customer's Tremor. At least 5 or 6 people minimum looking at cars, and someone looking at a Ford Bronco there. So the Ford dealer is definitely, you know, it's pretty active. I think EchoPark is going to be an absolute zoo. I'm going to take you through with this camera. I'm just going to walk through the dealership, show you how many people are in the lobby. The point of this video is to show you that, you know, people are still buying new cars, maybe not in the record numbers they were like last year, but used cars, there's going to be a lot of pressure in the market. Right now, I just looked on cargurus.com, did some research before I did this video. I'll show a graph. The car value for used cars is down as opposed to like a month ago, maybe for everything but Toyota. So right now isn't a terrible time to be looking at used cars, but there's a ton of foot traffic right now. And with taxes coming up, I think what you're going to see is that the used car inventory is going to get diminished pretty fast because people don't want to buy brand new cars like what I'm in now. I mean, they just don't want to chance it. They're looking for older vehicles. They're looking for something that has 50 to 100,000 miles on it, and they just want to spend like 20 grand. I've also noticed, boy, $20,000 seems to be like the new $10,000, which is wild to me. So here it is on the right. Hopefully it will come out in this wide view camera. There's a person leaving in a test drive, it looks like. This place is pretty nice. They'll let you test drive things. They don't always go with you, which is cool. Kind of a nice used car dealership. I think we're gonna do a little quick drive through, and then I'm gonna go in and show you the lobby in this place because it is generally packed. There's someone checking out cars. People up here on their bikes. Maybe they're looking to go from bikes to cars. Yeah, as usual, the used car lots are crazy busy. Some more people here looking at stuff, someone parking, someone coming in over here. If you look, there's cars all in the back of this lot. It's probably a 5 to 10 acre lot of used cars, and what they really specialize in is like rental returns or just a massive amount of kind of newer cars, like 1, 2, 3, 4-year-old cars that are kind of aggressively priced, like in the $20,000 to $25,000 range. And I think that's, I mean, what a hot spot for the market, right? You don't have to pay 40 grand for a new car. It's already depreciated 15 grand, and places like this kind of reap the benefits from it. This is one of those super no haggle dealers. You try to haggle with this place and they will not haggle. Like, they will just flat out tell you no every time. We're just going up to the lobby here, They've got a semi right here, and this entire lot back here is just covered. All these covers are for hail. We actually get a ton of hail here in Colorado. So most of the dealers are starting to put these covers over everything because the insurance cost is just insane. I'll probably walk in and just hide the camera first. I'm not gonna say much. I'm just gonna let you guys kind of see what this place looks like inside, because if I'm talking, it's gonna be a little weird if I'm monologuing with 50 people in a lobby. This place is pretty cool. You've got they have these seats in here. I don't know if you can see them, but they've got really nice seating here for everybody. Pretty darn busy. You can see this dealer is absolutely bumping. I mean, there's people everywhere. So, you know, if you see anything that says people aren't buying cars, they might not be buying the new cars as fast, but man, are used cars in demand. And I think as we see this tax season roll around, it is February 28th today, so we really haven't hit peak tax season yet. And I think what we're gonna see when we hit peak tax season, you know, coming up in, we got March and April really are the big months that start to pick back up. You're gonna see used car prices go up, so just keep that in mind. If you're shopping for a used car, now is a better time. You can wait, you can hope that the stock sits there, you can hope that enough people get their tax returns and then they go buy new vehicles and they trade in their vehicles. You can hope that the used stock stays high. I just wouldn't count on it. I think used stock right now, they have a ton of vehicles. I see a lot of rentals coming in, which a lot of people don't like rentals. I think it's a decent time right now, given the used stock to buy. I don't know how many people were in that lobby, but I was getting weird looks and there were a lot of people looking at cars. Even though prices are higher than everybody wants them to be, especially with used cars, at least we have stock, right? I mean, there's a silver lining in everything. I can remember back just in 2022, 2023, remember when I checked Facebook Marketplace one day and it was wild to see how few cars there were on Facebook Marketplace. I was like, holy cow, there was like nothing. By the way, I don't know if you can see this, but been driving around all day. Trans temp is 181 in this Ram. The ZF transmission, oil temp's 201. It's 74 degrees outside, coolant temp 205. Oil pressure sitting here idle is at 26 PSI. So what did I think we learned today? We learned a couple things. One is people are still buying new vehicles at every single dealership I went to. Last week, Chevy and Nissan both told me that January was the worst month they've had since they could remember. That's telling. I think the market is changing a little bit. I think people are getting a little tired of these prices, but the sales numbers show that they're not really losing much out of it. I think they're either leasing more or they're just rolling people into more negative equity. They are still selling vehicles. New dealers are still selling them. Now the used dealers, I haven't seen used dealers this busy in a long time. And obviously, talked about it a little bit in this video already. It's because the prices are super high. Insurance went up, all these other factors in your life. Food has gone up in price. My health insurance gone up. My car insurance has gone up. Almost everything this year has gone up, I don't know, 10 or 15% for me personally and my family. So I get it. I feel the pain and I understand what people are going through because you're constantly reevaluating your budget. And I think that's why you see things like EchoPark down the road here that I showed you absolutely packed because they are willing to sell $20,000 to $25,000 cars with 50,000 miles. Some of the EVs they sell used have like 10, 20,000 miles and they're like $20,000. For your average consumer that just needs transportation, $20,000 on a used vehicle now that's a couple years old is a bargain compared to what the new manufacturers are doing. The cheapest cars you can find right now are in off brands. If you're looking at like a Toyota Camry, the cheapest thing you're going to find is $30,000 on a front wheel drive sedan. So I think the used market's going to feel this pressure from now. We're at end of February going into March. Prices are going to go up on used vehicles. So if you're in the market, I would think strike while the iron's hot on the used market right now. Strike while you have stock and prices. If you wait a couple weeks or a month, I think you're just going to have less stock and the prices will be higher for you. That's just what I believe is going to happen. I could be wrong. The market could crash tomorrow and everybody freaks out and the AI bubble bursts and then we're all screwed. I don't think that's going to happen though. I think what's going to happen is new cars are going to either stay the same or be more expensive throughout the year. People are still going to buy them, and used cars are going to either stay where they're at or go up in price. I don't see used cars coming down in price. Not great news, but at least you have stock and at least you can pick. It's going to do it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Till next time.